Warning, the following audio transmission will forever change your outlook on society. You will no longer believe the narrative. You are about to wake up and see things for what they really are. News, facts, and opinions. This is the Doom Daily Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. The website, www.jestersvoice.com. Go there, leave us an audio message at the top of the screen by pressing that button. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe to the show. Give me that 1 week IRL, that 1 week in real life interaction where you tell a friend, family member, or coworker about the Doom Daily Show. Also, while you're on the website, jestersvoice.com, get yourself an apocalyptic apparel t-shirt. It greatly helps out myself and producer Scooter to keep bringing you the show. All right, today is March 26, 2026. It is Thursday. I hope everybody's having a good day. You're one more day closer to the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting there. You're almost there. You could smell it. You could smell the freedom of the weekend. Oh, God. So I hope you're having a great morning so far, whether you're on your way to work or you are getting off work or you're unemployed and you're a sack of shit, or if you're a bum stealing your neighbor's Wi-Fi while you're listening to this in your grandma's basement. I don't care. We're just happy that you're here. Right, Producer Scooter? I'm not sure why he's winking. Now he's winking both eyes. I think that's a yes, or he's in serious trouble. I'm not sure. Anyway, hope you had a good day yesterday. My yesterday consisted of getting a haircut, getting my beard trimmed, running around, doing some shopping, had to get goat food, had to get tannerite because I plan on blowing up a tree. That's going to be fun. So that's what I did yesterday. Continued my boat shopping venture. The boat shopping venture is to try to find something within the low budget we have has been quite impossible. So if you are so inclined, go to the website or find my link tree on one of my social medias. And if you wouldn't mind helping us out with the GoFundMe to get a boat, yeah, that would be cool. Moving on from that. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay. So we did all that stuff, went and tried out a new restaurant. I did a little bit of a blood type diet violation and got barbecue chicken nachos, which I didn't think I would enjoy as much as I did. Barbecue chicken nachos. Yeah. So, maybe add those to your radar of things to try. But I'm like paying for it now because I'm not feeling, so hot after consuming those. But, every once in a while, a little violation. You feel like shit, keeps you in check, remembering that, you have to stay on these diets so you feel good, But yeah, outside of that, yesterday was a relatively decent day. On the agenda for today is one of two things. We're kind of waiting on confirmation. We're either going to go look at a boat today or we are going to work on the house foundation, my wife and I, which I don't know which one we're going to do yet. I don't know what's necessarily coming down the pipeline yet. But as you're listening to this, I'm sure I'll have it figured out for the day. I guess my wife's on this kick. She doesn't think we should rush into buying a boat. And it's like, well, we've talked about getting a boat for years. I don't think we're rushing into anything. I really don't think that we are. And in her mind, it's a big, expensive purchase that we don't need. That's a continuous expense that we don't need. And I'm right there with you. But on the same token, we feel now, like most Americans on the planet, we spend money out of boredom. Okay. Now, I would rather put $30 in gas in the boat, drive to a lake for the day, pack some sandwiches and some snacks, grab a case of water and ice, and go cruise around and swim and have a fun-filled day versus, oh, we have nothing to do. Let's go for a ride and spend $40 on lunch. Then let's go to TJ Maxx and spend $80 there. Then let's go to Ross and spend $100 there. Then you know what? That's right. We haven't got the things we needed yet, like groceries. Let's go drop $250 at the grocery store. Oh, by the way, we got to go to the feed store while we're out. There's another $200. And then, wow, it came pretty close to $1,000 day out of just boredom and running around. As to where if we're on the boat, we really can't spend money when we're out there. Does it cost money to get there? Yeah, but once you're out there, you're out there. You're not shopping out of boredom because that's usually what happens. We all go to stores and, with one thing in mind that we need to get, and then we buy a bunch of ridiculous, useless shit that we don't fucking need. We went to TJ Maxx the other day, and I bought 4 bags of Dad's root beer candies because me and my buddy got the bright idea to mix these in with moonshine and maybe make them into a moonshine simple syrup to add them to make root beer moonshine jello shots or just moonshine root beer shots or whatever. So the bags were on clearance, and it's like, I might as well just get a bunch of them. I'll give a couple to my buddy for him to experiment with and this, that, the other. And then, while I'm there, I also bought a new hairbrush because, I like to brush my beard. So I got a new brush for the beard. And then I got, what else did I get? I got an extra set of fingernail clippers because I just lost a set. And tiny home problems are tiny home problems. You lose shit all the time. And you end up buying shit because you lost the shit and you can't find it, because the problem with the tiny home is everything gets covered by something else. It's amazing. And you do things not realizing it, and then you lose storage, and then things get lost, and it's bullshit. Anyway, enough about the tiny house conundrum. Moving on. I went into the store just with my wife and had no intentions on getting anything, and then ended up spending $30 on shit I really didn't fucking need. You get what I'm saying? That's how it goes. So that, and that's my primary argument right now, I guess, with this whole boat thing is once we're out there, we can't spend money. We're going to, even if we don't have the boat, we're going to figure out a way to spend money when we're bored. At least this way we can have some enjoyment. Anyway, we'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, Producer Scooter here. First off, thank you for downloading and participating in the wide world of Jester Doom. Please be sure to check out jestersvoice.com website. Everything you want to know is located on jestersvoice.com. If you're looking for salacious details, it's on jestersvoice.com. Don't forget to share the show with your friends and even with all your enemies. And now, back to the musings of Jester Doom.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I'm your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media, @Jester Dooms. The website, jestersvoice.com. Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what. You ever see those news stories that just make you sick? We're in a news story, and I don't want to say I don't want to give this person any attention. They don't need to be Googleable. They don't need to become famous for their crimes. They don't need that kind of attention. But I read a news story the other day about a father that had killed his child, neonate child. I think 3 months old. He's convicted of murder. And I saw the guy's mugshot. And, his face, the way he's standing there. I mean, the guy looks like kind of a shitbag, but you wouldn't think cold-blooded child killer. You wouldn't think that looking at this guy. All right. Now, after, reading through the news story and stuff, there was a really, I think it was a year and a half long, investigation to figure out what actually went wrong or what happened or whatever. But it's a disgusting, filthy fucking crime. It got me thinking so this guy takes the life of a child, barely, not able to talk, crawl, walk, nothing, there. When children are that little, they eat, they shit, and they cry. That's it. That's all they do. At that age, there's nothing that's happening. So what kind of anger you could find within yourself to do harm to a child that isn't even functional, can't get up and get into something or can't talk back or whatever. I get pissed at my kids when they fuck up. I get mad. I get enraged. But I also understand kids do dumb shit because they're kids, right? They make a lot of mistakes. That's how they learn things in life. Okay. But when you have such anger and hatred within you for a neonate small child, that you'd be inclined to injure this child and kill them. It's pretty bad. Okay. You're a very sick fuck. Now, this guy is probably never going to get out of prison. Okay. Unless by some stroke of luck, he files the right appeal on the right day and a right thing comes up and the right lawyer and maybe he does walk, maybe, but fucking probably not. But the thing that kills me is this guy is now going to be taken care of for the rest of his life. He's going to get 3 meals a day. He's going to be kept out of the weather. He's going to have access to the internet, access to visitation, going to get Christmas presents on Christmas. has the right to appeal the case pretty much indefinitely. Probably will make friends in prison. Probably will garner some sort of a fan base because killers do for whatever reason. Dental needs are going to be met. Health needs are going to be met, all for free. He won't have to work. And that's the reward we give an individual when they take the life of a child. Now let that sink in. For the rest of this man's life, he's never going to have to worry about a bill. He's never going to have to worry about are his healthcare needs being met. He's never going to have to worry about being in debt anymore. Like none of this. The judicial system in this country is a fucking joke. It really, truly is. It's not like it was back in the day whenever you went to prison and we still had chain gangs running and shit like that and you actually paid a debt to fucking society. Now you go in and society pays you, takes care of you. You trade out your fucking time because that's what we're taught. You trade your time for things and then maybe you get out. You stay in there forever. But it got me pretty hot-blooded reading this article, knowing what this man's future is going to hold. Will he be free and be able to walk the streets? Probably not. But I mean, what kind of life did you have before you went in? In some capacities, the alternative of prison for some people is better. And I know that's a hard sell and you're over there scratching your head like, what the fuck do you mean? Some people don't have the opportunity to shower every day, don't have heat in the winter, don't have AC in the summer, struggle to eat, struggle to get their healthcare needs met. For some people, this is better. Years ago, I don't want to say what agency I was working for, but anyway, years ago in this county that I was in, there was an inmate in jail. He got out. The first thing he did was commit crimes in the parking lot so he could get arrested again because he wanted to go back in. Because life on the outside was something he didn't know how to handle. Like, go get a job? I don't fucking think so. Find a place to live? I don't fucking think so. Why do that when I could just get charged with a crime and be fully fucking taken care of? Fuck that. I'm just gonna, so gets out, starts breaking into cars, gets arrested in the parking lot of the fucking jail, and goes right back in. Because that's what he wanted. Now, you have to ask yourself, how mentally stable was this individual if he thought that was a better option than freedom? Probably not very mentally stable. But at the same time, if his mental stability was that bad, how was he functioning on the outside in the first place? Really makes you wonder. Now, in recent things, and I don't want to make this episode all about prison, but in recent happenings and events, we're also starting to see that prison populations are getting overrun and they don't have the staffing for them. So less serious crimes, they're not even wanting to incarcerate people for anymore. Think about that. Anyway, we'll be right back after these messages.
Can't get enough of Jester Dooms? Check out his other show, It's Doomsday Podcast, available on all podcast platforms. That's It's Doomsday Podcast.
Back to the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I am your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. The website, jestersvoice.com, in case I didn't mention it enough in the show already. Go there, get yourself an Apocalyptic Apparel t-shirt. Use the button at the top of the page to send us an audio message. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to get back into this Facebook article here. So yesterday we talked about this on the show. And I just think it was kind of fitting that we continued this a little bit. So on the Epic Times, jury finds Meta, Google liable in social media addiction trial. My apologies. It's by Beige Luciano Adams on the Epic Times. Los Angeles jury on March 25th found Google and Meta liable for $6 million in damages in a landmark social media trial. The case pitted a 20-year-old plaintiff identified as Kaylee GM or KGM against two tech giants, asking a jury whether the companies could be held accountable for psychological harms that she had suffered as a result of addiction to their apps, YouTube and Instagram. Of $3 million in compensatory damages, Meta was ordered to pay 70% and Google 30%. The jury awarded another $3 million in punitive damages, including $2.1 million from Meta and $900,000 from Google. Now, if you don't remember, we had talked about this case on the show before, I believe. If not one very similar to this, but I think it was this exact one with the KGM individual. Now, we're going to tear more into this article, but as we're reading through this article, I do want all of you to keep in mind as I'm reading this stuff off to you that you have the free will to put the phone down. You have free will to put the devices down. Let's continue. The verdict, which came 9 days after deliberation, sets the stage for thousands of related lawsuits brought by parents, children, school districts, and attorney general across the country, offering the first blueprint for how to argue such claims and for what damages might be sought. Snapchat and TikTok were also defendants in the original lawsuit, both settled before the trial began on February 9th. Responding to the verdict, a Meta spokesperson said, "We respectfully disagree with the verdict and are evaluating our legal options." Google did not have an immediate comment. Over 5 weeks, attorneys sparred over competing narratives about the nature and impact of social media on young people's brains, what company leaders knew, and when and what may have caused a young woman's years-long psychological turmoil. The 12 jurors sat mostly stone-faced through testimony from therapists, adolescent addiction experts, executives, engineers, and whistleblowers. They watched lawyers and experts pick apart KGM's lengthy medical records and sensitive family history, debating whether her mental health struggles were likely caused or worsened by a social media addiction or by genetic disposition to the mental illness and a chaotic family life marked by neglect and abuse. Speaking to reporters after the trial in the Los Angeles Supreme Court, two jurors described a painstaking process of reviewing all the evidence in every addiction and carefully considering the law before finally arriving at a consensus. In quotations, "We looked at everything Kaylee went through and what the process these platforms had in place that was going to prevent these harms." A juror who asked to be identified as her first name, Victoria, said, "The award of $3 million in compensatory damages," she noted, "was based on consideration of what someone like Kaylee would have made throughout her lifetime. We wanted them to feel it. We wanted them to realize this is not acceptable," she said of the companies. She added that some jurors were hesitant to award more substantial punitive damages because it would be paid out to the plaintiff in a lump sum rather than put in a trust. Judge Carolyn Kuhl instructed jurors to consider each company's net worth to be equal to its 2025 total stockholders' equity of $217 billion for Meta and $450 billion for Alphabet, Google parent company. The plaintiff testified that she began using YouTube at age 6 and Instagram at age 9 and soon developed anxiety, depression, and body dysmorphia and other disorders. But she was hooked at times spending 16 hours per day on the apps and returning after incessant bullying, she said. 9 out of 10 U.S. teens use YouTube. 73% say they use it daily, according to 2024 Pew Research Center data. Worldwide, YouTube is the most watched app, followed close by Instagram, with both estimates to have been between 2 billion and 3 billion users. Now, let's go to break. We'll be right back.
Need a break from reality? Well, sometimes I do too, and the place I go to take that break is the Beans and Weenie Show. You can find the link at linktree.com/BWD crew. The Beans and Weenie Show, where chaos and common sense wage war and you get a front row seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Doom Daily Show. I'm your host, Jester Dooms. The email, doomdailyshow@gmail.com. Everywhere on social media at Jester Dooms. The website, jestersvoice.com. Go there, buy an Apocalyptic Apparel t-shirt. Okay, so let me break this down for a second. This whole daily user thing. And I want to mainly focus on the YouTube. So the YouTube was the initial big player in this. And I want you guys to think about how YouTube is utilized throughout our society. There's a lot of people out there that just have music streaming on YouTube all day, okay? And they're at home or they're at work or whatever, and they just have music videos and shit running in the background, and they got playlists up, and they're just letting them run. Shit, I used to do it at my studio. I used to put on a YouTube metal playlist and plug away and do what I needed to do and jam out and maybe get a live going on a platform, and boom, I'd be rocking and rolling. I'd have YouTube running in the background. There's other people out there that use YouTube for how-to guides. You want to learn how to build a deer stand. You want to learn how to fix your toilet. You want to learn how to change your oil on your car. YouTube is actually full of fucking tutorials. So this also kind of goes back to the idea that some education can come from this platform. A lot, in fact. There's guitar lessons on YouTube. There's cooking lessons on YouTube. There's canning lessons on YouTube. There's gardening lessons on YouTube. I mean, it's absolutely endless. If you want to know about something, you'll probably find out about it on fucking YouTube. And if you Google it, you're probably going to get a video that's on YouTube. Even when you're buying something for product reviews, YouTube. Okay? Now, you also have the individuals that rent movies through YouTube and watch like the live YouTube TV and stuff, because that's also a thing. So when we talk about addiction and an individual being addicted to this app, you kind of have to ask yourself, what fucking part of this app were you addicted to? Were you endlessly scrolling shorts, chasing the dopamine? Or were you craving knowledge in certain subjects and you just couldn't get enough and you kept going? Has anybody ever heard of somebody suing a book manufacturer because they couldn't stop buying their book series? When I was a kid, I was addicted to Goosebump books. Maybe we should sue R.L. Stine because I didn't get enough outside time. Now, I can't speak. I'm not walking in this individual's shoes, so I don't know exactly all what went on or how bad this actually did take a toll on their mental health. But I think that, and this would be a very simple thing, if your mental health is declining from using an app and you've identified the problem, then you yourself need to have the responsibility to work toward a solution on your own. All right? Period. Point blank simple. Mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Period. Okay? Now, I think the payouts that are getting awarded in this are a little bit insane. Okay? I think it's a little bit ridiculous. And also, you got to remember, you're subjecting yourself to these. Again, when we were talking about this case before, you have the power to put that phone down. You have the power to turn it off and walk away. Like you have that power. The phone's not screaming out to you saying, hey, come play with me. Come scroll videos. Do it. Now, in the beginning of the week, I brought up the shock to the system when something changes or goes away. Now, think about it this way. Lawsuits against these social media giants are going to mean they're going to have to make changes within the apps. Okay? Now, they're obviously not going to have changes in the apps that are going to keep them from making a profit. So I think that the world of social media as we know it is about to take a big shift. Maybe verifying you're still there. Maybe screen times being locked out. Maybe interactive ads to where you have to refocus your mind and do something different. I remember when I got a PlayStation 2. I think it was PlayStation 2. You turn it on and there's a disclaimer about your health. Basically, sitting in the house all day and playing video games will make you a fat ass. And if you're a fat ass, you'll get heart disease and heart disease will kill you. It was basically the gist of the disclaimer on the PlayStation's home screen when you turned it on. The welcome screen, I guess you would say. And you knew that. You knew that you shouldn't be addicted to these games. You knew that that's not the only thing that you should do. That's well known. Now, the idea that these apps are addicting and people are being bullied and harassed, and it's a very simple thing. You just turn it the fuck off. It's not hard. Some people need the shit smacked out of them. I'm just saying. But the reality is we are seeing more harm. We're seeing more child and teen suicides due to harassment online and bullying and social, cyberbullying, all these things. And then the body dysmorphia thing, I think it's hard. Okay. It's hard because when you're seeing a supermodel with the perfect body or the guy that goes to the gym and he's built and he's fit, I mean, that is a fucking lifestyle. These people made the commitment to look that way, to feel that way, and they live a life that supports that. Like they make the decision, oh, no, it's salads all week and a donut once a month. They make that decision. I need to intake 4,000 calories each day and 200 grams of that needs to be protein. And I need to spend, 8 hours in the gym today. Like they make that commitment to build their bodies. It's not just and that's the thing that is not coinciding with this body dysmorphia shit is that if you want that body, it doesn't come from being a social media icon. It comes with the work you put into it. I mean, that's the way it works, right? Now, I'm somebody who has recently lost a lot of weight, but it's because I had a diet change because I was having stomach issues. It wasn't because I'm like, oh, I need to go to the gym and do all this stuff. Like, no. I was feeling like garbage. My stomach was upset all the time. I changed my diet. I dropped a shit ton of weight. Now, when you get into this, I'm not good enough because of what I see. Your lifestyle choices determine how you look and how you feel. If all you do is eat McDonald's and suck down Mountain Dew, you're going to be a fat ass. Okay? That's how it's going to be. But if you're somebody that says, hey, I don't like the way I look, it's your job to change that. It's your job to get up and go for a walk and drink water instead of soda and watch your calorie intake and not pick shitty sugary foods. Like, that's your job. You can't sue a tech giant because they're putting good-looking people in front of you and it's making you feel bad about yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a slippery slope we're on with this. Anyway, maybe we'll continue this a little bit more tomorrow, but we are out of time. Producer Scooter, if you would, sir, hit that button. For everybody else, come back for another exciting episode tomorrow of The Doom Daily Show. Have a great day, everybody.
News, facts, and opinions. This is The Doom Daily Show.